In this section, let's do some Python basics. So the first one is identifier. So what is an identifier in Python? It is nothing but a name used to identify a variable, function, class, etc. So let's say you are declaring a variable called name for storing a name value. Okay, let's say name is Spark. Okay, so name is called an identifier. And make sure that the identifier should start with a letter A to Z. It could be lowercase or uppercase or a underscore. It doesn't allow any special characters like at the rate, dollar, percentage, etc. Okay. Now the next one is multi-line statements. Sometimes when you write big values, it can carry forward to the next line. In that case, you have to use these multi-line statements by using a backslash. For example, so let's say you are adding multiple numbers. Let's say 1. Okay. If you go 2, and it will throw some error. Okay, because you are adding multiple lines and Python is not aware of it. So what you can do in this case is, let's say 1 plus, just apply backslash, then 2 plus, apply backslash, then 3, that's it. Okay, and the next one is quotation. The quotation is also very important. We have three kinds of quotation in Python. The first one is a word. So let's say you are, you want to, this is a string, and for keeping the words, you should use a single quote. Okay, now the next one is a sentence. If you are writing a sentence, try to keep it in a double quote. Okay, so let's say this is a sentence. The third one is paragraph. Paragraph could have can have multiple statements. So let's say this is a paragraph. You can put enter. Sorry, so the for writing paragraph you should have 3 double quotes. Okay, then you can write multiple statements. This is a paragraph. It can have multiple lines. Okay, so for word you can use a single quote, for sentence you can use a double quote, and for paragraph you can use 3 double quotes. Okay, now the next one is comment. We have two kind of comment. For single line comments you can use the pound symbol. So this is a single line comment. Okay, and for multi-line command you can use like 3 single quotes. So this is a multi-line comment. You can write anything you want, just close it by putting 3 single quotes as well. All right, now the next one, user input. So sometimes it is required that you need a input from the user. Okay, so the command to to get the input from the user is input command. Okay, and here you can just press any number or something you can type here. It's optional. If you want you can do it. Now it will prompt the user to put some number. Okay, so this is really useful when you go into production. This syntax command is really useful. And also we have something called multiple statements on single line. So when you declare variables, let's say the variable a equal to 10, instead of going to the next line, you can also declare one more variable b equal to 20 by using this semicolon. In fact, you can do multiple times, c equal to 30. Okay, now if you print a is 10, b is 20, and c is 30. Now the next one is indentation. It is very important for Python and it's mandatory. It indicates a block of code. Okay, so let's say I'm writing a if conditional statement. If 5 is greater than 2, you have to put a colon in if statement. I will explain this syntax when we go to the conditional statements. Okay, now each block you have to put a So that is the syntax of Python. It's called indentation. Okay, then here you can write whatever you want. Let's say 5 is greater than 2 and close it. That's it. Okay, so we have two ways of writing code in Python. One is interactive mode and one is script mode. Interactive mode is that you write some code and you will get the output on the prompt itself. Okay, so let's say equal to 10. So you type A, you get the 10. So this is the interactive way of coding. It is only for practice usage. Okay, but in real time in a production environment, you have to write a Python file and execute the Python file. Okay, so let me go out and show it. Here you just write a Python file called basic.py. Make sure the syntax ends with .py. Okay, now here, so let's say I'm just writing a very basic first program in Python. Hello world. Okay, the save and exit. Now your basic file has got one line of code. Hello world, right? Now if you want to execute this code, what you can do is just say Python. Okay, if you're using Python version 3, make it Python 3. If not, you can use Python. Okay, and execute it. So mostly when you work in a real-time project, you are going to use the script mode. When you work in a script mode, it is important to know about the command line arguments. It is the list of arguments you passed when you execute a program. So let me show it in a small example. So in Python, we can use a module called sys to implement the command line arguments. Okay, so let us open a file basic.py and we have to import the module sys. Okay, and in the sys module there is a functionality called argv which will return and list an array, and the first index of the array would contain the another name of the script. So in this example it is basic.py, and that would be followed by the list of argument we pass when we execute the program. Okay, so let's print this. Okay, and just give some write-ups. List of arguments, and we have to combine both this string and this array using a plus sign, and this will return an array. So this will throw an error because it cannot combine the string and an array. So we have to convert this array into a string. Okay, so save and exit. Let us execute this program. For timing, let's not pass any arguments and see what is coming. As you see here, it returned one array, but the array contains only one element, which is the file name itself, basic.py. Now let us execute this script by giving some arguments. So let's say we pass three arguments, arg1, arg2, and arg3, and run it. As you see here, it returns an array of 4 elements. The first element is the script itself, and the second element is argument 1, argument 2, and argument 3, and so on. Okay.